Any of our new people that are coming?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Chapter 2 networking meeting for today's restaurant news. We have a guest this morning, Nico Romano. He's auditing our group today. He's a member of Group 1 and he had a conflict this morning. So we asked if he could join us today. You want to just give us a quick hello and tell us what you do quickly?
Sure. Nico Romano with Spiritus Law. We do alcohol beverage law. So anything to do with alcohol or any other, tobacco, lottery, anything that's regulated. We do also anything that's ancillary to alcohol, meaning, if you're a restaurant, hotel, anything like that, we'll help you with, business matter, with your business law matters or real estate law matters. So if you're starting out, you're closing, or you're having problems, there's always stuff that pops up with licensing issues. We can help out.
Okay. Welcome.
I was wondering what you were doing here, Nico.
Well, it's funny because this summer I've been I was remote, and so the 11 o'clock worked out really nicely. But now that I'm back in the office, the 9 o'clock may end up working out a little better.
Great,
Well,
great. Glad to see you here.
Just let me know which one you want to continue in.
Sure.
All right. So today we have a speaker from within the group. Our newest member, Rick Moore, is going to go into depth as to what he does. And before he does that, please, everybody put yourself on mute because I'm hearing a lot of background noise today.
I think it's Brian.
Always Brian.
Brian doesn't look too happy this morning.
Where are you, Brian? You're someplace odd.
He's always
can hear us.
I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think so. I can't put him on mute either.
Why not?
Let's try. I just did.
Okay, good. Well, not good, but yeah, good.
I don't know. Oh, he's not at home, that's for sure.
Yeah. Looks like he's some restaurant.
I guess he's trying to find the Wi-Fi spot. Oh, now he's outside.
He's trying to find Matt. All right. Anyway, let's continue.
He's trying to find the beach with Chris.
Come on down.
Rick, are you ready to take the floor?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Of course, I don't know if I can cover all the topics we just did, but
You'll do just fine.
I can only tell you in my past, I know a lot about international gas pipelines.
Really?
Which has something to do with Ukraine. But anyway, what I'm gonna do today is just kind of talk, briefly about where I came from. So I think I mentioned earlier that early on when I moved to Atlanta, I met Chris Kaufman and got placed with Ruby Tuesdays once upon a time with him. I think that was '84. And I moved to Atlanta around that time. Been in Atlanta ever since, obviously. So I spent my first 30 years of working. I spent in the hospitality business and started as an operator, became an owner, and drifted into being a restaurant broker as well. So that's in my past there. We sold our last restaurant when SunTrust Park opened here in Atlanta. And I had transitioned part-time into commercial energy at that point. Took an executive position eventually with Genie Energy up north, IDT, hence the gas pipeline comment. And with a couple of people I hired as consultants, as marketers, we founded BidPoint in 2015. So we started out as marketing commercial energy for a company called Avion Energy here in Atlanta, where I'm also a partner now. And so that's kind of the structure in the beginning. And about every year, we've added another kind of fixed cost reduction item, line item. So we do waste cost reduction, we do wireless cost reduction, In fact, a lot of the wireless cost reduction we do is in the state of Florida with municipals. And so we are a company with, I think we have 7 services now. And the latest service is BidPoint funding. And so what I do is I run the sales process for BidPoint. The other guys are the marketers. And we have an agent network, and we find everybody through social media. And so I start out with a discovery call with people and move to a launch call if we figure out what color their parachute is matches up with us. So that's kind of how we roll. I also have a personal book of business in the energy business, and most of our services come from my connections, mostly in the hospitality business. So that's kind of the story of what we do. As far as the BidPoint funding program, we liked the idea of getting in this space and have for a while, but couldn't find a way to do it where it wasn't too much heavy lifting on our reps. So we finally figured out a way to have a completely automated process, and it's real simple. Our funding is based on revenue. There's no collateral involved. It's basically prove your revenue, have a FICO score where you didn't recently get out of prison. And I say that because that was one of our recent potential clients got a drop because of that. So those things do pop up. But the restaurant industry is great for the funding business. Also, construction is really good, and whether it's ancillary to the hospitality business or not, construction's been really good for us. We actually have clients. I think it's right now we have clients in 42 states. So we're all over the place. We've got probably about 100 active agents scattered across the country. Several here in Atlanta, which is where we're based, but down in Florida too, and we cover most states. So that's kind of how BidPoint is put together. But my purpose of joining the group is because that is my background, the hospitality business, and as I get to know what everyone else does and what their kind of unique strategy is and what they do, it'll be easier to do referrals. And that's why I tell you what my background is, so you know that it's probably good for us to move forward knowing what it is I've done and what other things we do. So probably the best thing to do is if we're not connected on LinkedIn, if we can do that. I've got a pretty significant presence on LinkedIn. And then I don't really do much of the marketing per se that we do. Another way to see and learn about BidPoint is just check out, somebody brought up YouTube earlier. We've got quite a bit of content under BidPoint on YouTube. Currently we put something out every week about something we have going on. Most of that's funding right now. I will mention at a side that it's surprising to me how good the energy business is right now with how terrible the pricing is. It's amazing to me that you can't get a business owner's attention when your pricing's at a 30-year low, but when it's rocketing to the moon, everybody is pretty attentive to their costs. So last thing I'd say is that as we get to know each other better, maybe I like the idea of like 30-minute Zoom sessions to get focused on what somebody does. Obviously, I know Brian here was actually the person who introduced me to the group, and Chris and I have been friends for many, many years, and so I feel comfortable that this will be a great use of time, and probably like I think Nico mentioned, 9 o'clock on Friday morning is a good time to be doing something like this. So I'm happy to be here, and any questions anybody has moving forward, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, you guys can unmute yourself so you can ask a question if you have any.
I want to mention too is today is the 7-year anniversary of launching this company. And the reason I know that, it also happened to be my wife's birthday. So the company launched when my non-compete with IDT expired. So
That's good. And we'd also invite you to share screen anytime that you'd like, if you needed to show statistics, figures, anything like that.
yeah. I just figured I'd just kind of this is where I came from, and this is kind of what we do, and I figured I'd start that way as opposed to
That's
jumping into a
wonderful.
pitch.
You mentioned something in your discussion that how important it is to get to know everybody on the group, because that's the only way it allows you to get information from other members of the group by getting to know everybody. So if you feel comfortable with each other, we will help each other on a regular basis. So that's the bottom, that's the foundation of this group, is that everybody gets to know each other, and we feel comfortable with each other, and we know that we'll do a good job for our clients, for you. And if you don't, we know we're all going to come after you.
Rick, I have a quick question for you. If I'm working with a hotel owner or a restaurant owner or somebody in construction, what do I listen for to know that there might be a potential to do business with them? And what kind of questions do you ask?
Well, it's interesting because there's a couple different ways to answer that question. So in the cost reduction space, our simple thing that we teach our agents is, hey, look, we don't know if we can help you or not. If we can get a copy of your X bill, whether it be energy, waste, wireless, whatever, we're going to check to see if you're being overcharged. On the funding side of things, it's a little simpler. In fact, our marketing method with the funding is, in fact, you'll probably start seeing some trailblazers out there that mention BidPoint. It's starting to happen on both coasts of Florida right now. Got some guys putting some stuff out there because all of what we do is just get them to a QR code, and then it funnels people through from a survey to what kind of funding they might need. But so the funding's a little trickier, right? To refer, you've got to probably in general, the funding is going to be a smaller business. It's going to be an independent operator. And maybe you guys know these stats, but right now, currently, more than half of all independent restaurant owners in America are late on their rent.
Really?
That's
Well, that's motivational, isn't it?
That's 53% actually.
Oh my gosh. No, I
That's
did
the
not know.
current number.
Yeah, I
I
saw
heard
it.
that, but is that where are you getting that information? Because I've heard that before, but I don't. How is that? I guess
I saw a chart. Somebody emailed me a chart and it showed exactly that.
Yeah, but where does it come from?
It
Like,
came from
you know,
possibly the NRA. I don't know. You know, Rick?
It may have. It may have. I've got, like a lot of you guys, I've got so many people pouring things at me.
Right.
And then when something like that grabs my attention, I read it, but I can't remember the source of it.
Yeah, me too.
And I've heard it from several sources now, which it probably comes from the NRA.
yeah,
You know.
I'm sure.
But so that's actually part of why we got in the funding business, is that we were getting in the conversations about it. We're talking about other things. We're talking about energy primarily is what we've done over the last 7 years, but we end up in deeper conversations with all of our clients because we're digging into their P&L basically. And so so that's kind of so I think that on the funding side of it, I think that people like the idea of it being revenue based and not collateral based. It's obviously we're working with people that that the banks aren't going to be able to take care of, basically.
So are these shorter term loans, or how are they structured typically?
Yeah, probably 12 to 18 months typically.
Okay, and they start paying you when?
It just depends on how they set it up. In terms of payout or in terms of.
Well, for instance, if you're in the summer season and you're a restaurant and, so typically you can go out of business during the summer here in Florida if everybody stays away.
Right.
And then, if you make it through to season, then you're okay. So,
you mentioned that, and that's exactly, I used to take this funding myself. I had two restaurants here in Atlanta, and summertime was quiet for us, even in good times, right? And so if I wanted to keep my staff, I'm sending them all on vacation in July pretty much. I'm just keeping the staff and sucking up paying for them. I haven't paid servers vacation pay, but at least I kept everybody I had on my staff, right? So I'd take, my payroll was probably, I don't know, 150,000 a month.
Mhm,
I had a decent size operation,
mhm.
doing about 5 million a year between two places. In fact, I can say this about the restaurant business. We fed 1 million people during our period of time here in Atlanta. So, and that was, $35, $40 check average. So I could count on losing 50 to 70 grand in July, because that, as you mentioned, that 3-month period is always going to suck it up. So I would take the money in June and then try to have it paid back. I might have an 18-month term on it, but I try to pay it back by November,
Mhm. Got it.
because you're paying less if you do that. So that's
Right.
actually how I got in this business, by using the service. So I think that, right now, if we're looking at somebody right now, we're going to do a 3-month look back on what their sales are. Hopefully we find a good month somewhere in the 3 months, right? And then we can fund them up to double their monthly revenue. That's kind of the formula.
So even if
You
it's
know-
if it's a new operation, a new location with a year of history and or
It
less.
depends on whether the corporation's been around, or it's, there's another factor. How many partners are there? There's all kinds of factors in it, right?
Mhm, mhm.
But if it's clean, it can be fairly new if they can demonstrate revenue. If it's 8 partners and they launched 120 days ago, that's gonna be tough, right?
Right.
Because that doesn't demonstrate you're very solid if you have that many partners, right? So it's, I would say the majority of people that we put through the process get approved. Not everybody takes the money, and not everybody takes the money right away. And it's kind of like, you need a reason for the money. And so I think as I come into this group, and I know that, for instance, Brian on the other side, right? Like he's got a different kind of a client at a different stage than we do, right?
Right.
And so we could be more referral partners than competitors.
Are you sort of like a rep for different lenders, or you use one?
They're actually investors. They're actually investors.
Well, yeah.
So the group we work with.
So it's private money.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't take anything for collateral and you only go back to 3 months and you look at a FICO score, and it is a bad time of the year, what's your guarantee of repayment? Or, I mean, you have no collateral. It's an open-end loan. They take the 18 months or whatever they take the full amount. They don't pay it back. You have no collateral. What's your recourse?
Well, actually, the answer to that is it's not inexpensive money. So, I mean, you have to look at the totality of it. It's probably going to be, it could be 20 up to 50%, right? If you pay over the full term, right? It could be. Not many 50s and not many 20s. But if you were to do like what I did personally, if you paid it back in 90 to 120 days, you had a reason for the money. There was some initiative you were getting into, or something to cause hopefully a sales spike, then that's how you get whole.
What do you charge?
And so,
% per month?
say again.
What do you charge? You charge monthly, I assume.
Yes.
And what kind of rate is that?
20 to 50
per month?
50. Wow.
No,
Okay.
20 to 50. No, 20 to 50 APR.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, yeah. So it's, so if you paid it back quicker, it's actually pretty decent, right? I mean, you just have to have a reason for it. I'd say that right now, the easiest thing for us to do, because of, and we'll see with all, real estate's cratering now, so I don't know what's going to happen there. But, construction's been probably, I'm surprised it's been more construction than restaurants. When we took this on, my expectation it'd be more restaurants. But, we talked, as I mentioned, the stat in restaurants, that recent stat, this is not money you take to pay your rent, right? This is money you take to improve your sales, right?
Right. So
But,
if I know a hotel and,
Mhm.
it needs new carpeting, he needs to update the place a little bit and enable him to raise his rents probably, whatever his charges are.
Yeah.
He would be a good prospect.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And we go
great.
up to, just give you guys an example of the stretch of it. Up to 25,000 could happen that day, right? Or it can go all the way up to 2 million. 2 million is about our cap.
And I imagine plan B is Vinny with the baseball bat in the trunk.
Right.
Well, we're not the ones that have to break out the bat. In fact, once we get past, just so you understand, once we get past 30 days, on our side, we're off the hook. So
Okay.
basically, the only problems we really can run into are more about fraud than failing to pay.
Okay. That makes sense.
You do line of credits also?
We do line of credits, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And actually,
What-
that probably, go ahead, sorry.
What percentage of your business is the loan part versus the cost reduction part?
Well, we just really just started the funding program
Oh.
this year. So our book of business, just to give you an idea, we've got several thousand commercial energy clients. So 80% of our book is energy.
Okay. Oh, that might. You know what?
Okay.
So
And just to understand kind of where I'm coming from here. So I run the sales process for the company, and we're building an agent network, right? If I'm running the sales process, I have to intimately understand the services, right? So my purpose in this is actually helping me learn how the conversations have to go in funding. Now we have a support team behind us, but I take it upon myself that I've got to know this stuff pretty cold. So I'm not the one out there gathering all the clients. I've got clients,
Right.
and I've got clients in funding, but I'm not the one doing all the gathering. Like
So
we probably have we have submissions every day. I mean, it's rolling. We've got about 50 reps at this point chasing the funding program.
Wow.
And a lot come from other funding programs. Another good referral is people in other funding programs.
So Rick, when you say commercial energy, what kind of industries are those? What, I mean, we talking gas stations? What do we?
Manufacturing, hotels are great. In fact, I'll give you an idea of a hotel client, why hotels are great. Hotels are great because they use off-peak energy. And the energy suppliers don't necessarily pass those savings along because off-peak energy is cheaper to produce, but that doesn't always get passed on to the hotel. So hotels are excellent. Restaurants are pretty good. We can do, we do a lot of chain stuff. We do a lot of other things with the chain stuff too. We actually have an energy management service that even takes over the billing for QSR. And so, we do a lot of things that are kind of inside of hospitality there. But so I think back to the original question I think Howard had is that you're probably 80% energy because in 2015 energy was it, and then we added waste the next year, then wireless. Every year we've added services. So we have like groups and pods of people that specialize in certain things. But we have lots of clients where we started with energy and went to something else, or so it's kind of win and go back in.
But it sounds like energy is the greatest arbitrage. There's I mean,
Well,
they're on waste reduction.
It's funny because I'm even though I'm a veteran in this industry, I've been around commercial energy 15 years. What's going on right now is just puzzling to me. I mean, people are all over it, and they're paying, through the nose right now. So right now, we're not saving anybody money. We're taking away the risk. We're going to give them the best price in the marketplace, but we're taking away the risk. as an example, if a client's with the utility, quote unquote, which most everywhere in America, there's only 2 states we don't have to leave the utility. We have to leave the utility. That's Georgia for gas and Texas for electricity. Everywhere else, they can stay with the utility. If you stay with the utility, all the risk is on you. If you're not in a fixed price contract, all the risk is on you. See Texas recently.
Right.
And so it can take people out. So really, we're selling, and maybe this is the answer, we're selling more on fear than benefit right now. And it's true. It's,
You know, Rick, it's interesting you brought up Texas, because I was speaking to somebody last week, and their concern was water. Their water bills went through the roof.
yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine being a home builder in Vegas right now?
Do you work on a contingency on the energy savings?
No, we get paid by the supplier.
You get
So
paid
we
by the,
represent
Supplier.
essentially all the major suppliers. So we've got 80 supplier contracts. So we bid it out and then take the prices back, show them to the client. If they want 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, they choose. We essentially become their RFP.
Yeah,
So,
got it.
so we're more efficient in a bigger company because more people will bid on a bigger company.
so what's your process? I know if you go into let's say a hotel, use that example again. If you go into a hotel and they're paying $6,000 a month in electric, do you go back a certain period of time to check their bills against what they should be paying and what they actually paid?
Yep. So what happens is we gather 3 most recent bill copies, and then we collect a letter of representation, which allows us to represent them to the suppliers,
Right.
and a letter of authorization, which allows us to look back on the usage. And through all of that information, we bid it out and find the best price in the marketplace. These energy prices change every 15 minutes. So it's custom prices.
You're like an energy broker, really.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Well, I'm wearing 2 hats. I'm talking Avion Energy right now as much or more than BidPoint. BidPoint's a marketer for Avion Energy. But I happen to have a foot in both canoes.
We have somebody in the other group who does something similar. He'll go take 3 months of bills and analyze them and come back and tell them that you've overpaid $20,000 over the past year or so.
And a lot of that's probably going to be taxed too.
Yeah. And then he gets
He's
paid
more of an auditor.
He gets paid on the contingency.
Yeah, that's more of an audit.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. That's the name of the company.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not really, we have referral partners for that, but we're not in that game. We broker. So
Okay.
Yeah.
A little different.
But that could be a referral partner though.
Right.
An
Yeah.
auditor's
That
a
would be
great
great.
referral partner.
I'll put you in touch with him if you like.
You know, it's funny. I've actually got a big energy auditor out in the Midwest, but he doesn't do energy with us. He does waste. So go figure. So, just kind of funny how that, and then he does water too. I think we were talking about water back there. He does water audits as well as the energy audits.
Yeah.
But he's
A
out
lot of
west.
people. Say again.
He's out west.
Okay. Well, you know, it's amazing to me that with so many restaurants not being able to pay their rent, that they're not taking advantage, or a lot of them aren't, maybe because they don't know, or they don't know what they can do, or they don't want to get involved with the ERTC refund. I mean, there's a lot of money on the table.
There's a ton of money
for the government.
In fact, you and I have to talk about that. The comparison to WOTC, the work opportunity tax credit, and the ERC. There's probably some stuff we could do there.
Right.
Because we have, in fact, we just picked up a Jersey Mike's franchise yesterday out in Minnesota with WOTC. Pretty decent size one.
Okay.
So things just pop up. But you know, I manage it. You know, just so you guys understand, I don't manage all this. What we do with our organization, once I've passed a rep off to say Avion Energy Well, now they're working directly with ABN Energy. And once I pass a rep to our WOTC vendor, now they're working with the WOTC vendor. So once I've taken them through the launch process, they're with the vendor. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I'm not juggling all this myself.
Right.
You never get anything done.
You know, listen, I work a solid 25 to 30 hours a week, just being transparent.
All right. Any other questions for Rick? Well, thank you very much. I'm sure other questions will arise, and I'm sure you'll have the answers.
Yeah, and I want to say this last thing too, Howard, is that I'm open to a deeper conversation with anybody anytime. We just schedule on Zoom or something, do 30 minutes and knock it back and forth. Because if I truly understand what you're doing, then we can start, getting the referral thing going. And
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a thought for everybody.
Howard, would he be good to come to the 11 o'clock group one time to meet up with? No. Okay.
No, because
Okay.
we have people in there who do financing directly
Okay. All right. But you can put him in touch with,
with Bob.
yes, perfect. 'Cause
Yeah, absolutely.
that would be a
And
great.
an auditor would be a referral partner. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Rick, I'll look you up on LinkedIn and we'll connect. We'll do a Zoomer next week.
That'd be great. I'd love to.
Okay. For those people who are viewing this meeting on YouTube and you are a restaurateur by chance, you can see that this group has a tremendous amount of experience and knowledge in the industry. And if you're having issues or problems that you feel you need help with, I encourage you to get in touch with us to come to one of our meetings so that we could give you a hand and help you out in what you're doing. So get in touch with us at 561-620-8888. And again, thank you, Rick. I will be in touch with you as well. Anybody in the group want to schedule for an upcoming presentation? I won't all answer at once. I know we've all done it already, but except for Chris. Okay, you're volunteering?
Sure.
Or do you have to go to the restroom?
It's just number one. I'll be right back.
When would you like to?
Howard, if I'm gonna stick around the 9 a.m. meeting, I'd be open to going again in the near future, I guess, because I'd be pretty.
Yeah, once you make your choice, yes.
Yeah, all right.
I think he did already.
Chris, do you want to go next week or sometime in the future? I'm open.
I just did it. You want me to go again?
He said Chris. I know.
Oh, Chris, I'm sorry.
It sounds like Bruce, and a lot of people like to
Yes,
steal my thunder.
yes.
But let Bruce go next week because I'll be in Atlanta next Thursday night on a gig, and I hope to be able to. I mean, I might be doing the Zoom call with my cell phone from the car on the way back to Vidalia from Atlanta. So 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. So that's the 26th.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Why don't, yeah, all right.
Did you say you wanted to do it again, Bruce?
I just went like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. So let's give it, let's put some space.
No.
Okay, so we'll do Chris on the 26th.
That'll be our last meeting until September. Because we're not doing Labor Day weekend, right?
Right.
No, and we'll be in California, but he can still. No. Labor Day weekend. Yeah, that's the 2nd. No, we won't have anything then.
Okay. Y'all be in
So it
California on
would
the
be
26th?
the 9th.
All right. So, all right, we got that squared away for now.
Perfect.
And as the group, Brian couldn't hear anything, so he dropped off.
Huh?
Howard, we have new people that are coming next week. So let's see what happens at that point.
Okay.
Right, and we can always talk about Ukraine.
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh, there's a whole bunch of
And
stuff
gas
we haven't even talked about yet. Anyway,
Oh my
I
God.
wanted for Nico's benefit, I want to give him the opportunity to hear about what we do. So we have about 15 minutes before the end of the meeting, so we can tell him about our companies and hear about him again. So Matt, you want to start us off?
Oh, my back.
Matt, are you still with us? You're
He's
on
on
mute.
mute.
See if I can get him off.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that
There
delay.
you go. There you go.
All right. So anyway, great meeting and great presentation. Rick, learned a lot about what you do, and certainly sounds very interesting, and best of luck there. Rico, welcome to our group. And I think if you're giving us consideration, you'll find that we do, with all of the experience we have in different verticals, we offer a lot of value to all of our different clients. So I am the commercial insurance and risk management specialist of the group. I am a managing partner for Optishore Risk Partners. I manage our Florida operation, and I help businesses answer 3 questions about their insurance risk management program. Number 1, are you overpaying? Are you missing something? And is there a better way? I try to do this without disrupting their current agent relationship or wasting time quoting. We talked a lot about last week the bidding quoting process and some of the weaknesses in that. So I do the processes using my experience and information that I would obtain, and kind of my knowledge of how the behind the scenes underwriting works. I'm able to help them reduce costs, obtain better coverage, and to get better value for the commissions that they pay me. So Matt Krupkala, Optishore Risk Partners. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Now you can put yourself back on mute. There you go. I know how noisy a coffee shop could be. Having lived in one, worked in one for many years in New York. Chris Kaufman, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yes, indeed. Chris Kaufman. Oh my gosh. That particular line only rings if it's really important. Hello? Up, it's the FBI. Gotta go. All right. We're back. We're glad to be back. Yes, I've known Rick since Ronald Reagan's first term, and 2 very positive memories there. And Chris Kaufman, Restaurant Recruiters of America, soon to be known as All-Star Restaurant Recruiters of America, because the way you reach us is 404 All-Star. We got a call yesterday from a young growing company that needs to hire 60 managers over the next 12 months. So they are discussing how we can move forward together, and so are we. So we primarily work in the restaurant industry, even though CHRIS is an acronym for clubs, and then H would be for what?
Let's say hotels.
Hotels, exactly. Okay. Clubs, hotels, R for restaurants, I for institutions, and S for sales. CHRIS, a very clever acronym, so people remember who we are and what we do. Almost as clever as 404 All-Star, 404-255-7827. And operators are standing by, or at least this operator is standing by. And we look forward to bringing more human capital to your restaurant organization so that you can have fatter profits and get out of that rut of being unable to pay your rent if you're in that 53%. So, but we work throughout the United States. Most of the work is in the Southeast United States. And if there's any further questions, 404-255-7827, 404 All-Star. Come back to see us.
What was that client that you're looking for? 60 what?
60 managers.
Managers.
Yes.
Wow.
Over the next 12 months.
Wow.
Located around the country or Southeast?
Atlanta Metro,
No kidding.
which is a 15 county area. So it's not just the city of Atlanta. It's very difficult to do business in the city of Atlanta. That's why you see very few chains in the city of Atlanta, because a friend of mine went down there, a restaurant owner with his blueprints and his plans, and he's talking to a city of Atlanta planning commission person, and the planning commission person literally fell asleep during the presentation. Okay.
Oh, rude.
Atlanta was built back in the 60s and 70s through some phenomenal leadership, Mayor Ivan Allen, et cetera. But different world today, folks.
Yeah.
However, in the outlying areas, the 15 counties, there's a lot of good activity happening. So, and remember, if nothing else, remember this: objects in the rearview mirror are closer than they appear. I'm trying to help. Okay,
Folks, he is here all day for your entertainment. You join the 11 o'clock group.
Yeah, I'll be here all week. Try the veal.
Speaking about new activities in the Atlanta area, Terry, why don't you give us a rundown of what you do?
Absolutely nothing. I handle leads report, which is a major part of this institution here. People want to know where things are opening, and they want to know when, and they want to know who owns it. They want their emails, they want their phone numbers, and we deliver. Our team puts these leads together. I get them out by the 9th of each month, and they are in an Excel spreadsheet so that you can sort them any way you want, by county, zip code, state, however you want. And we give you such detailed information. I had a guy that bought all the leads all the way back as far as I had them, which is a long time. So whatever he's looking for to find out if his, they're not just new leads. A lot of people want the older ones to find out if they're happy with their services, and they may not be. They may not like their credit card processor. They may not be able to get money. They may not like, who's managing them or whatever. So they go back to those people. And if they're not happy with their present provider, now they've got, they can go back to that. So a lot of potential here. No matter what you're looking for, we do have the lead reports. We have Georgia and we have Florida. And then we have Texas. We have Texas back about 11 months.
Okay.
Chris, did you was there anything that you wanted to say?
Oh, I believe
you have an inquisitive look on your face. Never mind, the sun is shining. It's a good day.
It's absolutely a great day. Thank you very much.
Have a good weekend.
You have a better one.
I will. Thank you.
You bet.
I was going to say something, but that little conversation just blew me right out of the water.
Good, then my day is complete. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you guys think it's easy.
Yeah. Yesterday we had to talk Howard in from the ledge.
Oh my God. All right, Bruce, get me out of this.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bruce Silver. The name of my company is Employers RX. and we are the cure for your employee management headaches. And after Chris helps find the bodies that you need, we help small business owners acquire them and retain them. We make them competitive with the big boys, the Nikes, the Olive Gardens, the companies that they're competing with for the talent. I work with companies called professional employer organizations, and they do the same thing every small business owner has to do. They process a payroll, they have workers' compensation, they get benefits, which are really, really important today if you're trying to acquire good talent. They handle the risk management. They help you with your on-site inspections and making sure that your work site is a safe place to work in. They make 401k and investment products available, and they have pet insurance and legal insurance. They have all sorts of programs that are attractive to employees and to managers. So if you're looking to retain and find good talent, give us a call at 561-843-4333, and we'll be happy to help you. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Rick Israel, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Of course, I'm the early bird here because I'm Central Time Zone, so it's just shy of 9 a.m. So while you guys are already going, I'm just getting to the office in the morning. But Rick Israel with Affiliated Health Insurers, we are doing some rebranding just a little bit. In my world of Medicare and going out and doing grassroots, I've learned one thing that I have to market myself. So I'm doing a DBA as the Israel agency. Chris, how did I get that one? Let me think. If you can help me think of an acronym for Israel, that'd be fantastic. But
I'll put my best man on it. You'll have an answer in 72 hours.
There you go. There you go. But what I do, folks, is I love it. He's here all day. If you need a laugh, just call Chris. But I am an independent broker. I represent about 9 different companies, and I help individuals that are either already in a Medicare plan, need a review once a year, or talk with individuals who are getting ready to transition from a group plan into an independent Medicare plan. Medicare is a big, huge maze, and if you get lost, it can be a major financial burden on the individual. A couple things that have come down the pipeline from CMS is starting October 1st, we have to record every incoming call, and it has to stay on file for 10 years. So thankfully, I have a CRM system that has an unlimited cloud system, which is going to be good. And a couple of wins that we've had. I know Chris, I'm very excited for Chris and that 60 team. I mean, that's a great win for him. I've been contacted by a doctor's office. There is a large Medicare supplement company that is going insolvent here in Huntsville. It's actually owned by Huntsville Hospital. They're going insolvent as of the end of the year. And this doctor's office reached out to me of about a 300 patient book of business to help individuals transition from that supplement into something new. So that is a great win for me. And that's how I work. I do grassroots. Most people in my business spend thousands and thousands of dollars on leads, extremely cold leads. People who have no idea why you're calling them. I don't believe in that because it's a waste of time and money. I do not believe that I can do my work over the phone. I believe that my business has to be face-to-face because you have to build relationships in my world, in my type of business. 2 of my clients are currently on this call. They've been in our book of business for, a long time. And very thankful for them and their continued support. I am the predecessor of Steve Israel. He was the founder of our agency back in 2004, 2003 is when he became incorporated in Florida. I operate in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, a little sliver of Georgia, and have been reached out by my upline to get my Louisiana license because carriers do not have agents in that area, and which is going to be a hot lead system for myself. So I'm growing leaps and bounds, and I will be in Florida, obviously. So if you know of anybody who needs assistance with their Medicare review this year, my charge is free. I charge nothing for my consultation because I am compensated by the insurance company if that individual enrolls into a plan. So my goal is to work for the client, not the insurance company. So thank you for your time. Rick Israel with Affiliated Health Insurance.
Thank you.
I have your acronym ready. Okay.
Go ahead, dude.
Israel, ISRAEL, correct?
That's it.
I for insurance, S for savings, R for relevant, A for the word and, E for effective, L for long-term. Insurance savings, relevant and effective long-term.
Can you email that to me?
Yep.
And go ahead and send me a bill, okay?
I tell you what, just call it even, but go ahead and make my car payment next month, okay?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. You have my email address, Chris? You still have my email address?
Go ahead.
Rick, Bama Insurance @gmail.com.
Got it.
That was a very good and very quick response there, Chris. I'm impressed.
In 5 minutes, and he said 72 hours. That's pretty good.
He said he put his best man on it.
Yeah. You're not dealing with a branch, you're dealing with the headquarters here.
Nico, you want to add anything to what you've already told us? Or you want to
given
duck
that
out?
everyone is outside of Florida, just to add that, a lot of our licensing work, we do work nationwide. So we're not limited to Florida. In fact, we do a lot of work with national brands, and we help as they're expanding or they're growing, or for example, even just simply changing names, you have to re-register or you have to file applications with the various alcohol and beverage boards in the different states. So yeah, we do. We are nationwide.
Okay, thank you. Rick Moore, you want to add anything to?
Yeah, I got a question. So you're doing liquor licenses down there in Florida as well? Is that?
Yes.
Are you a licensed consultant? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
No, we're attorneys. So we do everything, but from government affairs to, if you want to buy and sell, we can help you buy and sell liquor licenses. We do the agreements and whatnot, the sales agreements, licensing work, and you're starting a restaurant, you need help, whatever with your liquor license or your beer and wine license. We do all that stuff.
Okay.
And we do that
I
nationwide.
know it's a lot
Nico,
different down there than up here.
It's how many competitors do you have? It sounds like a really niche business.
It is a really niche business. We actually do a lot of we get a lot of referrals from other law firms because it's very specialized. And if you don't do liquor alcohol beverage work, it's really sort of tricky. And especially because every state is a little bit different, and Florida is probably one of the most difficult ones in the country. But yeah, we do a lot of a lot of our at one time, or at least the partners from this firm were part of the largest alcohol beverage firm in the country back in 2006 when I initially worked with these attorneys. But yeah, it's there's not that many people out there. There's maybe a few per jurisdiction. But I'd like to think that there's we know what we're doing. And so, and it's, if we can help you, save you, for example, if we can help you and make it come out with a resolution that saves you money or do it on the cheap, we can do that. We're not one of those firms that's trying to, milk you for every penny you got.
Interesting.
Okay. I want to mention quickly for our new members that we have a private Facebook page for this group, and that is Today's Restaurant. In order to get on it, you must friend me on Facebook first under Howard Appel. I didn't set it up that way. That's the way Facebook has it set up. So friend me on Facebook and I'll invite you. As soon as Bruce gets on Facebook, they're probably going to close.
That won't be happening anytime soon, so you don't have to worry about it.
And we also have a YouTube channel, which is also under the name of Today's Restaurant, where you can see videos of prior meetings and some short videos of some meetings that we did prior to COVID that were held in person. And does anybody have anything else, any good and welfare that they want to bring up now? If not, I thank you all for coming. For those of you who are watching, again, if you want to reach us, call us at 561-620-8888. So have a great weekend, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.